going to be difficult. You'd like to think that there is more to boxing now with his life. I mean, look, he's been with his wife for years, Paris. They've got loads of kids. He's now famous all over the world. He finally is getting the respect and response that I think he wanted after the Klitschko fight, which he didn't get. So if he were to walk away, I'd like to think he'll be okay. But again, he's openly admitted this. Like, boxing keeps him on the straight and narrow. And plus, there's so many big fights out there. There's so much money on the table. People are having this conversation about, is Tyson Fury one of the all-time greats? And he might very well be that, but we need to see more work against more fighters. So I'd like to think Tyson Fury's got a couple more years left, 3 or 4 fights. AJ, Usyk, Hrgovic, JOYCE potentially. So there's fights out there. But if there isn't, and if this is it, I think mentally he'll be okay. I think he's in a good place now.
Yeah, definitely. The knockout last night was beautiful.
Yeah, it was unexpected. If I'm honest with you, you speak to a lot of people, and everyone was like, Dillian Whyte by KO, Tyson Fury points. We have to kind of rip that script up. Like, Tyson Fury can clearly knock you out. He can clearly hurt you. We saw that against Deontay Wilder as well. I don't know how Dillian Whyte keeps getting knocked out by uppercut. It's happened now where AJ put him down with that, Povetkin as well. I thought Dillian Whyte was poor, like really poor. As much as I want to give Tyson Fury all the plaudits, I just feel like Dillian Whyte didn't do. I thought he was going to put it on him, almost like a Chisora would. Like, Chisora's not going to try and outbox you because boxing ability doesn't have it.
He knows what he is.
He knows what he is, and I almost feel like, are they trying to make Dillian Whyte a fighter, a boxer? He's a brawler. Get in there, you're 18 stone 1, put it on him, and didn't really do it. So, in the end, I think Dillian Whyte's going to watch it back and he's going to be disappointed. But look, how many more good things can you say about Tyson Fury? He's so good. He can do everything. He can fight on the back foot. He can fight inside. He's got power. He's bigger than everyone. 6'9". A lot of people will say he's not as good as the greats. I'm telling you now, I don't know if he'll beat the greats, but he'll give them a hell of a fight because he's just got so many good things going for him.
Yeah, definitely. With that knockdown, the stoppage, of course, he dropped in the same way he dropped in the Povetkin fight, so you could kind of tell that was the beginning of the end. Is it the end for Dillian Whyte?
No, it isn't. Look, he lost to the lineal heavyweight champion. He lost to a guy that, like I just said, people are talking about as one of the greats. If you lose to that kind of guy, you shouldn't retire. If you lost to a Kalnaki or Hellenius, then there are questions there. But again, even for Dillian Whyte, there's so many big fights out there. I mean, you could right now do the Chisora trilogy. You could do it. You could, and it will sell because they both have sparks at the press conferences. So look, it's the wrong time as a heavyweight to retire because there's just too much money. There are broadcasters that are willing to pay big money because everyone wants talent as well. So I don't think he retires. I mean, he done an interview with Steve Bunce in the dressing room. He's okay. He's in good spirits. He'll be back. He'll be back soon. He'll have to work his way back up again. And I think where you have him in the top 10 has changed as well now. Like JOYCE versus him, you favour JOYCE. Hrgovic, you favour Hrgovic. So he's got some building to do, but he'll be back.
Where do you think Whyte could, or what, sorry, do you think Whyte could be looking at in terms of opponents? Because you mentioned Chisora there, but in terms of getting back to the top, if he wants to fight for a world title again, it depends what his aims are.
Yeah.
Is Chisora the correct fight?
I don't know if we can even think of Whyte as in getting to the top. This isn't like an AJ where we genuinely believe that AJ can compete if he's at his best.
Yeah.
I almost feel like we know where that ceiling is with Dillian Whyte now. We've seen it against Rivas. That was almost life and death for a while. Parker, if that went on for 30 more seconds, that would have probably gone the other way. He got knocked out by Povetkin. So I don't know if it's a case of trying to fight his way back to a world title shot. I think it's just a case of knowing what you are, make some money, and just get back in the mix. And if your path opens up to a world title shot, if Fury vacates or whatever happens, then so be it. But I don't think he's at that world caliber level to be fighting for world titles. I think we saw it last night. Look, he was bad. I'm a big admirer of Dillian Whyte. His story is an amazing one, but he just wasn't good. And I think he got exposed a little bit at the top level last night.